A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to some more Nerf Secrets Revealed Aftersought Part 2. And now it's the time that we get on into something that's like a lot of other lineups that were introduced in more recent years. I'm specifically talking about lineups that were introduced in mid to late 2021. That was quite a time to be alive in, I tell ya. An absolutely terrible year. By all means, I mean, it royally sucked. It deserved nothing more than hate and criticism. And it sure is, in fact, a garbage meteorite, as some of my friends would refer to it as, compared to 2020. A dumpster fire is fine, but a garbage meteorite is absolutely not okay, by all accounts. So let's just move forward here, all the way in 2024, 3 years later, and talk a little bit about the Dragon Power Fireshot. One of 3 blasters released in the year 2021. It does seem like that Hasbro, whenever they try to introduce a new Nerf lineup, they seem to release 3 at a time, but eventually they do begin to grow it even larger. Kind of like how they started with the Dino Squad series. They released 3 blasters there, dart blasters that is, and they also released a few Super Soakers in 2021. In 2022, 2023, and 2024, we've been seeing more blasters like these. So it's only fair to say that some of these newer lineups that we've seen are beginning to slowly grow and eventually adapt in our own lives. And so that's just how I particularly feel about this. But how does the Dragon Power Fireshot stack up compared to most of them? Well, it is in fact based off of the iconic game Dungeons & Dragons, which has been played for decades now, and even more so when it comes to getting to know the game itself in more recent years. 2021 was probably a big time for Dungeons & Dragons to be around in, and so that's probably one of the main reasons why we've seen this now in a Nerf line. It was also made into a PS4 game, which definitely sucked bad. And so I guess I don't really know where else to go with that though. But I can at least point out that this particular blaster is pretty much just your typical sort of priming rod blaster that fires 1 dart. Easier said, and also easier done, because compared to most other blasters, where they have different types of priming technology equipped, pumps, handles, cranks, pins, bolts, and otherwise, here we just have a simple rod function where you just pull it back, locks into place, use the trigger to fire, and it depresses and resets to its normal positioning. But in any case though, other things that I could talk about would include the nice sort of dragon aesthetic that they have on the sides with the scaly detail and the spines and the golden sort of printing that they have here to make it look more dragon-esque than possible. And then of course we can't forget about how this actually has dart storage. Believe it or not, I did not actually notice this until a while later. But of all things considered when it comes to this exact blaster, one thing pretty much stands out at the moment. Its usage of invisible integration. And so, we are going to test this out right now, like so. Well, here we go. So you know what? I actually feel like that this might be worthy. A nice candidate for a number of things. But yet I do feel like though that with some things, including the fact that because of the way that the priming rod itself is shaped, it does kind of get in the way of the grip a little bit. This part just rubs against this part of my hand right here. Also this little ridge you see right here, it's a little point that just doesn't really feel comfortable for my 5th finger's knuckle itself. So that's just a couple reasons. Also for the fact that this is a one-shot blaster that is kind of pricey. Even by today's standards, with the fact that you have e-commerce platforms like eBay, you can in fact get some things at certain price tags that might actually be like a killer deal, but not really in this case. So other than that though, I don't really mind this one. This one is certainly one of those picks that you might not be able to see elsewhere, because the Dragon Power series certainly has not lived that long. So I guess there's not much else I can probably add on to this here, but if you want to see more, go down to my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.